I'm spending a lot of time down under and up over, and going over to here and there and all over the continent and stuff. I had an agent in Switzerland who was an art student, okay? And I had tours planned, they were coming up, and all of a sudden something happened in Zurich, where a whole bunch of young people took to the streets and they kind of made a mess out of the Bahnhofstrasse, which is the most beautiful street in the world. That's what they called it. That's where all the banks are and the jewelry stores and the fur stores. All right, the most beautiful street in the world. They went out there and did that because, you know, money is always tight to some people. I mean, it's always tight. They never have enough, you know. So they on the same day, they closed down the youth center, where, you know, endangered youth, people that have no idea what they're going to do with their lives, got to hang out and brainstorm and save each other, you know? You know what I'm talking about, because you've all done something like that. I know I did. There were places that saved my life when I got to hang out and meet people, you know? Those are important. They shut it down. They shut it down just like that. At the same, because they didn't have enough money to keep it going, you see. That's what they said. On the same day, they put hundreds of millions of Swiss francs into the opera house. For new seats, new carpeting, new curtains, new sound system. That's class music. I'm sorry, with all due respect. When it comes right down to it, especially in the modern age, that's, you know, in a lot of places that's class music. And so that was a definite thing that they did. And so young people took it upon themselves to wake Switzerland up, and they did. And it spread throughout Europe because similar things were happening all over the place. They went to Italy and France and Spain, and eventually over to England. And it scared people. And here in America, what we laughingly refer to as the United States. Saying that it made no sense. People had gone crazy, and I knew that something was going on that made sense, and I could understand it if someone would show it to me. So I asked my agent in Switzerland to take me places, introduce me to people, and help me to understand. And so she did, and I wrote this. Underneath the lamplight, right outside the diamond jewelry windows, dazzling your sight tonight. Something in the blood that pounds, echoes in the hollow sound, and it all comes tumbling down in Zurich. It's taught among the rules of school that all that glitters must be gold, and those who would not play the fool must follow in the social mold. Oh, but the well-to-do, beautiful people on public view ain't got time for the likes of you in Zurich. It all begins one morning fine when the government money comes to town. A fortune goes to the opera, but not a penny trickles down to the youth center in the middle of town. Gonna have to close it down. Can't afford to have you hanging around in Zurich. All in a shattering instant, then upon that well-remembered night, in a sudden clash with bricks and bottles, comes the most surprising sight. Aspired with a smoldering heat, 5,000 angry rebels meet and break every window on that most beautiful street in Zurich. Anarchy on streets of gold lights, the flashing sirens wail. Frightened eyes behind the windows watch the young ones off to jail. Soldiers in their shouldered ranks, armed with water cannon tanks and rubber bullets to protect the banks of Zurich. The writing on the wall, the pillars of society, oh how they give an anxious call. And orderly they plead for peace, discipline to say the least. But what we need is more police in Zurich. From the gardens of Geneva to the flower streets of Amsterdam, inside the walls of West Berlin, trouble passes hand to hand. Among these times that be, no future do they see. That's the way it was explained to me.